Hey, so upon watching my previous review of the show, I found it needed a little bit more explaining. Sorry, my computer is about to fall. I have just finished the series, and first off, let me recap what I said before. This is a slice of life anime that kind of focuses on one guy's life and love affairs through, well, not really through high school. The manga goes on past that. From what I understand, it is supposed to be a better series, but it primarily focuses around his love of Suzuka, S-U-Z-A, I forget. Give me a second. S-U-Z-U-K-A. That's how you spell it. I should really remember that, but one of the problems with this anime is that it gives itself away instantly, because the name of one of the main characters is one of the girls. The name of the show is one of the girls. You know how it's going to end up. Instantly. No question in your mind, either she's going to die, or it's going to end with her falling in love with him, or something similar to that. I mean, it's kind of like Nana. You know what's going to happen, you know. Like I said before, this show's not very, it doesn't surprise you. Most of the plot devices have been used in previous animes or have been reused. Like, for example, they do that whole thing where you go shopping with an ex-girlfriend or a competitor they have the main male lead go shopping with a female lead for another female lead, and it basically messes up the love triangle, you know. They also, what else did they do that's kind of stereotypical? The characters are kind of drawn out of various animes. They don't really have that much development. The one interesting component of the series, but it has been done before, is the dead lover aspect for the female lead's character. This is the one thing that they did a little bit eventful that was a little bit different than most, but at the same time they dragged it out so long that they kind of lost it for me, I guess. They go through 26 episodes, and they basically give you the ending you were expecting, and it's kind of like, it's the problems that are initiated in the first like 3 or 4 episodes that you understand get resolved after another 20 episodes, basically. Nothing really changes. It just kind of rolls along. And it's incredibly disappointing in my mind. I mean, the dub's horrible. I usually give dubs a lot of credit, but I don't know. I mean, I have to be honest with you, this is the definition of a shitty anime. The guy, they have the stereotypical total, like, asshole, dumb guy be the main lead. Which I understand why they do that, but it's still, come on, offer me something special. The woman that they have as the lead, I just don't like her. I mean, I'm not saying like she's got a personality or anything. I mean, it's kind of like any character. It's kind of like there's a show called I think it's like Shorty's Rescue or something like that. I don't really like Shorty. I mean, it's like the main characters, they just were irritating. They weren't that intriguing to me. I mean, it was kind of like if I was going to design people that would annoy me if I actually knew them, this is who I'd design. The one exception to that rule doesn't get very much attention in the entire series. Her name's like, it starts with an H. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. And she has like 2 or 3 episodes where they talk about her. The love triangle is frankly, I mean, it's played out about 5 episodes before the series ends. So for those 5 episodes after the love triangle's kind of resolved itself, there's nothing really going on. They're basically just fighting for no reason. I think they thought that they could cover it up with the racing aspect, but there you go again. The racing was boring. I mean, I knew who was going to win each time. It's just predictable and poorly executed. The animation's not bad. That's one thing I'll give them. They didn't half-ass the animation. The sub-team, or, the actual Japanese voice actors did a pretty good job. What else? The secondary characters, though, the one problem, even with the secondary characters, were even though they were slightly more likable, they didn't bring them in enough to really add to the storyline. They just kind of left them there, which is, they're just flat characters that don't really bring any humor. They don't really bring anything to the table except, they kill a little bit of time, and that's about it. I mean, they're not very interesting. This is all my opinion, mind you. What else? I don't know about you guys, but if you ever watch this show, I get so tired of her jumping over that one pole. So tired. It's just irritating after a while. I mean, I get it. Oh, she's practicing. I mean, it's like they killed half the animated budget on running and jumping scenes. It's ridiculous. I mean, for a show that's not supposed to be about that, they spend so much time doing that. And they didn't really give you any insights into the sport either. It's not like they did something like, iShield 21, even though that's, you can say what you want about iShield 21. At least they try to go a little bit into it, Or Prince of Tennis, they might, it's all about tennis, so you expect it. But this one, I don't know. The other thing is that the characters always get into the same fights. And seemingly, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it doesn't make sense why they're fighting. And they aren't fighting enough for it to be entertaining, but they're fighting enough for you to want to see the resolution to the fight. It's almost like watching, I don't know, it's just, it drags on and on and on and on, and it's not even that long of a series. I mean, I feel like I've just finished, Naruto, I mean, it's just forever, or, I don't know, it's like watching the entire Dragon Ball season, or series, not season, or, it feels like arcs of time, have passed, or, not arcs, that's not a very good word for time spanning, but, and it's only been like 3 days, but it's still so flat and so boring. What else to say about it before I end this video? I don't know. Except for... the other thing about it is I could forgive the predictive nature of the plot if the characters were better developed, at least the main characters. But like I said before, they're just irritating and they don't really develop. The only real change is a guy goes from kind of being silly to being more serious about running and being more, I guess, straightforward with his feelings. And the main female character stops going to some old dead guy's grave, I assume. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else that happens. That is the transition in this entire series. Everything else is flat. One lady falls in love, tries to get out of love. And you end up feeling sorry for. I don't know about you, but I feel very sorry for her. Because there's no, they don't really go into what's going on with her past that. I mean, they lead you on, they say maybe she'll end up with this guy, but I mean, they don't really address it. Frankly, she was a better character to have, the story focused around. She was a lot more likable, and it would have been a bigger twist if they had gone back to her at the end, I think. You know? For some reason, the series also reminded me of School Days, which I think I mentioned before. I don't know really why. I think it's because in School Days, while they had similar characteristics, you know, they kind of had characters get into stupid fights kind of for the similar reasons. Like, they might have actually had same fights. It's been a while since I've seen School Days. But I know it's not just me. In reading the comments left in YouTube, a lot of people brought up School Days. And it was really, it's kind of weird because it's not a, I should go into the ending. It's not a tragedy. It ends how you'd expect it to end. No one's dead. Nothing bad happens. It ends with them going out, quote unquote. But you don't see them go on dates. You don't see them do anything. I mean, it's kind of like they just, after 26 episodes, you see them hold hands and they kiss once. You know, that's it. If you're into that, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those people that puts an extra super emphasis on, you know, kissing and relationships in shows. They can have it or not. But this one felt like it just abruptly ended. Especially their last line was like, you know, this is just the beginning. I mean, what the fuck? That's such a tease. I mean, you know, it's kind of like, I think that they thought they were going to get another season, and they didn't almost. I mean, it kind of has that feel. Anyway, I guess that's just about it. I know I've said that like twice. If you want to watch this series, I definitely don't recommend it. In a way, if you haven't watched any anime, or you know, you've only watched shonen, this might be a good starting place for you know, kind of serious, kind of melodramatic shoujo, if you want to do it that way, or if you want to see something that you're going to understand fairly instantly, and you get to watch characters slightly change and slightly develop. One thing that I ended up doing after a little bit was I actually watched it without reading the parts where he thinks, which are in lighter, they're not as clear, at least in the sub. This makes the series a lot more bearable, in my opinion, because the conversations aren't as clear why they're having them. So at least you got to think a little bit, which means that it's a lot easier. But then they talk about racing more than anything else, and they don't go into it, so that's a cost. But if you're going to watch something like that, if you want a happy ending for a series that's long and dramatic, kind of like this, this is the one you want. But if you want a more serious ending, there's School Days. There's a lot of anime. A lot of people didn't like School Days because of the ending. I did. You could, if you want a melodrama that goes on forever, that's kind of similar to this, in my opinion. I guess you could say Peach Girl would fall into that category, though I don't think they have Peach Girl on YouTube anymore, and it goes on forever, and I don't know, it's kind of, you kind of know where it's going to end up eventually. You might like that, though. In fact, I'd recommend that one. If I was going to pick one for somebody who's into melodrama and wants a series that's fairly predictable, that's it. Because it's at least a little bit unpredictable enough, and the characters are more interesting. To a certain extent, they're not super more interesting. But yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it. Hope you guys have a great day. I know, but if I was going to rank this, I think I'd lower it. I'd down it to a 2. Because this was horrible. Out of 10. 2 out of 10. 10 being best. Horrible. And anyway, I'm sorry I've been bitching about this anime. I just finished it, so hopefully I'll never have to mention it again. Subscribe, comment, rate. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.